So I started studying yoga, and I first came to yoga more seriously when I was living in India. I lived in India from 2004 to 2008. And I looked at many people, and you would see some people and they had everything and they weren't happy. And much of the time in my life, I was one of them. And then people who had nothing could be happy. How is that? Why is that? I was just captured by that concept. Yoga is a science. And it teaches us, it's very practical, and it gives the most incredible wisdom for how to live your life resourcefully and productively and how to get the most of life. We can condense it into 5 basic points. Exercise. So we're going to experience a few different aspects of yoga today. Why we exercise? We exercise our body to make our body strong, balanced, and flexible. But when your body is strong, balanced, and flexible, that makes your mind strong, balanced, and flexible. Why the breathing? Yeah, breathing. We breathe 21,600 times a day. But how often do we actually give our breathing system a workout? Have we ever even taught to give our breathing system a workout? We spend times in gyms, but what do we do with our breathing system? So, yoga teaches us to connect with the breath in a very, very deep way. And when we breathe properly, that's also very good for preventative health, because when you exhale properly, carbon dioxide comes out of your body. So the cause of disease is eliminated through good breathing and through proper breathing. Diet, another one of the major 5 points of yoga. There's a lot of education through yogic understanding and systems about diet and food. But it's not just limited to physical food, it's also limited to mental, it also focuses on mental food. So what kind of food are we feeding ourselves? Are we feeding ourselves junk food for the mind? Or are we feeding ourselves, nutritious, healthy food for the mind? Gossip, soap operas, etc., etc. Relaxation. How do we relax? Most of what we do in modern life is more about distracting rather than relaxing. There's so many weapons of mass distraction out there that are, we have our phones, we have our Facebook, we have Twitter, we've got, so many assaults on our mind and our senses every day that it's hard sometimes to feel fully grounded and to feel fully connected with yourself. So yoga gives us a lot of practices and tools and exercises that actually bring us to true relaxation. True relaxation happens when your body is fully relaxed and your mind is fully relaxed. And when that happens, we connect with our soul. Yeah? So we'll have an experience of yoga nidra, some relaxation later on also. And then finally, positive thinking and meditation. Why meditate? What is the value of meditation? Again, like breathing, what attention do we actually give to our mind? What exercises do we do for our mind? We have 60,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of those thoughts we would have had yesterday, and probably 90% of them we had 5 years ago. So our mind habitually gets into different grooves. And when we practice yoga, we develop an awareness, and as a result, that awareness gets us out of the grooves and helps us create more constructive habits for ourselves, mind-wise. As well as performing individually, exercise, breathing, diet, relaxation, positive thinking, and meditation will all help us perform optimally individually. But to perform well in a team, cooperation, concentration, and consistency are required. Again, we learn those principles from yogic practice. And when we're properly connected with ourselves, and we're properly connected with our environment, we naturally connect really well with everybody around us. So what we do when we're meditating and doing mindful practices, what we're actually doing is that we're rewiring our brain to think differently, to think more resourcefully, to think constructively, to think out of the box, to get out of all the habit grooves that have been there for years and years and years. Einstein once said that a problem cannot be solved by the same level of consciousness that created it. And so what yoga does is it brings us to a different level of consciousness from where we can solve all of our problems. When you have a big open mind, even a big problem seems like a small problem. Yoga is a fantastic tool for opening your mind and expanding your mind. When you have a small mind, even a small problem seems like a big problem. So for business people, and for people who are frontline trying to solve so many problems, it really, really helps boost our problem-solving abilities and our creativity. Happiness comes when your head, your heart, and your hands are working together. Success comes when you are confident and fully grounded in reality. And the practice of yoga brings both, because it brings focus, it enables us to connect our head, our heart, and our hands. And it also brings confidence, because as you become more connected to yourself, you become confident. And it also makes you aware. The first fruit of any form of meditation is awareness. So if you're in business and you're aware, then you understand what your client wants. You understand what your team wants. You understand when people have problems. And you're there because your meditation, your yoga is boosting your creativity. You're quick to find solutions. And you're quick to understand the reality, the ultimate reality of what is really, really going on. When I first discovered the science of yoga, I was really amazed at how these people, the ancients from the East, understood me better than I understood myself. These people that lived 5,000 years ago understood me today. You know, a lot of the time we have this perception that modern life is different, but the mind is the same instrument. Our mind is our most important instrument. It's our sat-nav to get us where we want to go in life. It can be our best friend and it can be our worst enemy. And yogic practices will help you bring your mind on your team. So I wanted to introduce all of you to a little bit of yoga. I want everybody to, if you would like to take your shoes off, I would welcome that, so that you have a full experience.